Alright guys, welcome back. So today we will be installing a 230 volt pressure washer outlet, and I'm basically just going to walk you through exactly how I do it. Every application is going to be different, but for the most part, if you have 3-wire, you're going to be using a 30 amp 630R outlet. And you can see these are horizontal, not vertical. This is what it looks like. And we're gonna install it today. Let's go. I also want to show you these really cool lights that I installed throughout the week. If you guys follow me on social media, you know that I posted videos of me doing them, but not here. So I'm gonna post them here on YouTube so you can see. But check it out. Super cool. So this is our current panel. It's a Murray panel. I don't love it, but it's not in bad shape. And this is all the stuff. They needed a welder outlet, but they already have one, so that's good to go. And then so I have enough space here to put a 2-pole 30, which is what I'm gonna do. And basically they want it exactly on the outside of this wall. So I'm going to figure out where I'm going to come out of with EMT. I'm probably going to knock out somewhere. Probably somewhere over here so that I'm not in the way of existing EMT. But yes, I'm going to come out, and then I'm probably going to come straight through the back here and out. I'll show you. So that relatively is where they want the outlet. So it's going to be waterproof. I just have to figure out where I'm going to come out of. Let's take the panel cover off first. We're going to take the panel cover off and see what we are working with in here. And then I'm going to start just drilling away. She's not that pretty, but she alright, I guess. Always put your screws back in the panel, because otherwise you're going to lose them. Just saying. What in the hell? I officially hate this panel. Honestly, probably gonna come in pretty close to the service entry point. I'll show you. I don't know if you can see that well, but that right there is the EMT that brings the service into the panel. So we might go a little bit under that. Placement is like everything with all this, especially like existing shit. Placement is important. Let's see. All right, so now I'm gonna take an extension bit and drill. Ooh. I need to hopefully that's perfect. I'm either gonna get this or I'm gonna go right into the back of the fucking outlet. Yes. When I say right on the motherfucking money, I mean it. I'm gonna have to do an offset to get it into where I want it, but that's like fire. Okay. That was the easy part. Now I'm gonna take my paddle bit and put that in there. So it's just a feeler. All right. See how accurate this was. That was literally best case scenario right there. All right, well now I gotta bend a 90, right? I mean, it's not bad for somebody who never does this. Now I'm gonna make a mark and cut this bitch. All right, let's put a connector on this and let's see how she does. This is gonna be actually kind of tricky, I feel like. Wow, I got really lucky if this actually fits through. I'm gonna make a mark on the pipe where it sticks out of the wall on the other side, and then I'm gonna cut it and deduct. I had to put my connector over there and then tighten it in that space because it wasn't gonna go through the wall, but now it'll go through. There it is. I did it. And then I'm gonna take my 1/2-inch 2-gang box and I'm gonna thread it right into there, if all goes well. Let's just say that. Let's not run into any issues here. All right. Ooh. The thing I like to do is I like to seal around the bell box opening, especially with applications like this where it's not going to be flush because of all the grooves here. So we're going to go like this and wrap this fully around. Yo. You guys have literally never met a pro like me. I just got that. All right, now we're gonna bolt it. First one here. All right, there's one. We're gonna put all 4 screw ins. Is there a bee in my hair? That ain't coming off. Finish this today. It's been a minute, and that is literally because when I was about to run the wire for this, the same exact company that I'm doing this for called me and needed me to basically run a whole new 240 volt well line. So that's what I did. And I was there till about 9 o'clock at night. So that's why I didn't get to finish this. So this is where we're at currently. We have the box mounted and the pipe is already inside the panel. So now we're gonna run our wire, hook up our outlet, put the in-use cover on, and then hook up on the panel side. Let's go. I didn't have enough wire when I was here that day anyway, so it all worked out. But so since this is 240 volts, technically it's gonna be running at 230 volts, but 40 is the standard. So this is 240 volt. There's no neutral needed here. So we're gonna be running 2 hot wires for a 2-pole breaker and a ground. So this is her right here. I cut extra long pieces because I wasn't sure. I forgot how long this run was. I'm basically going to push it in first. I'm gonna leave it there. We're gonna go on the panel side and make sure that it doesn't go right into the bus bar and explode, because that would suck. I did tape off the copper end, so hopefully it won't have that issue, but I want to open the panel and make sure and move everything around. A flathead screwdriver for this. I hate this old Murray panel. Like, I can't stand it, but that's all we got, so. They also had told me they needed a 50 amp outlet, 240 volts, but they actually already had one right here, so that works. I wish I quoted to replace this, but it's also not in bad shape, so there's really no reason to make the customer pay. Oh look, we're literally already here. Wow, that couldn't have been more perfect. So we're gonna be on this left side of the bus bar since that's really all we have space-wise. And so this isn't a sub panel, this is the main panel. This is the first means of disconnect off of the meter, which means that the ground bar and the neutral bar can be the same. I hear birds. So yeah, so over here, we have the neutral bar that is also acting as the ground bar. Anything past this needs to be separated. But like I said, first means of disconnect after the meter, they can be together. So we're gonna have the ground wire go there. And then we're gonna have a 30 amp right here for the other, for that. So I just want to make sure I have enough wire. I have absolutely plenty of wire. So we're going to go outside, hook it up on that side first, and then come back in here and hook up. All right, since we have everything that we need on the one side, we are just going to cut and strip this out and then put our outlet in. It's really easy. I already set up my in-use cover. Basically, they come with a lot of different knockout options based on what you're actually using this in-use cover for. So I just knocked out the paneling for this 30 amp receptacle, just like that. And so that's my hole. And then I just attached the in-use cover with the little thingies here. I already made this up because when I left the other day, I didn't want to leave this box just open and exposed to go into the panel. So I did put this in as just a temporary. So now we're gonna actually hook it up. This is my outlet. It's a NEMA 6-30R, and basically just that means is it's a 30 amp outlet for 250 volts. You have one hot screw here, another hot screw there, and then you have your ground. So we're gonna hook this up first now. You wanna make sure that you don't strip too much of this because you don't want the feed wires sticking out of the receptacle. It's just not good to do that. So you just make them just long enough to pull through. So there we go with that. And then I'm gonna install my ground first. Oh, that goes deep, damn. All right, there's that one, and we got one more. This one is actually pretty easy to install. Some of these can be like really hard, especially like with the placement and just like the whole setup of them, especially if there's 4 wires. So this is actually like a pretty decent setup. It's not putting too much stress on the wires, and I just want to make sure I'm not clipping the Romex because that'll be a whole different issue. I'm going to show you this up close so you can see what it looks like. So that's it. Very quick and easy hookup. I'm going to put the in-use cover on. The in-use cover is really easy too because it gives you all the screw holes to actually line up with the screw holes for your device. So you can see these top ones and these bottom ones are what are going to be used for the 30 amp, and I just go through the in-use cover and the outlet at the same time. So easy. I don't screw it all the way in until I have all of the screws set up. This is the most annoying part of the in-use cover. That's it on this end. I'm going to show you up close now. All right, this is what it looks like up close. Open it up, here she is. And then these 3 slots here are just for their cord to go in, so that way you'll be able to close the in-use cover without the cord preventing it from closing. And that's that lift. And I need a 30 amp breaker. So come over here to my breaker shelf. I had one for Murray. Thought. Here we go. This is the fun part. Not freaking hitting any of this. I just try to make it look as nice as possible. All right. And now we're gonna get our breaker. Where is the breaker? Right here. And we are going to dry fit. So we're gonna put it in first. Let me loosen all the screws. You're gonna get some nice little zappy zaps if you're grounded. All right, so there's that. And then I'm just gonna bring this, I do black first, as A phase. Bring it up, line it up nice, and I'm gonna cut here. I basically line it up with the screw, and I shape it the way that it's gonna, that I want it to be, and then I line it up with the screw, and I cut at the end of the screw. And that usually gives me like a perfect measurement. I usually get it right every time. I like to dry fit my wire, and you can only do that if the breaker is inside, otherwise you're not gonna get an accurate measurement. But your other option is to not dry fit the wire, and it's to just cut and strip and terminate while the breaker is outside of the panel. But like I said, it's easier to terminate, but it's gonna look probably uglier unless you're like freaking a magician at doing this, at gauging the wire size that you need with the bends. All right, that wasn't too bad. That was actually really freaking easy. I'll show you what it looks like. Here she is. These are my wire bends. Black one could have been a little bit less, but honestly, it looks really good in my opinion. And now we're gonna turn it on. No tripping, perfect. We are going to now knock out the cover, label it, and then we're gonna test the voltage outside on the actual outlet. Thought I just ripped my pants. So testing the voltage on the outlet is actually really important because, you know, sometimes your connections aren't good, or sometimes you might have a bad breaker and one of your legs might be not producing the voltage it's supposed to, and or you didn't hook things up right, or there's something faulty, and in that case it could accidentally blow up some of their equipment later down the road. So we want to make sure that we test everything before it's used, because prevention's always better, you know. Where'd I put the, oh, okay. So I knocked it out. I'm gonna put it here, and I'm actually gonna label a little bit more of their panel than what's labeled, because it's like absolute trash. I do, like, especially with like jobs like this that I've played with, like a lot of the breakers already in here, and I know what a lot of them do. I like to label them for the customer, because the customer doesn't freaking know, and then they're like messing with stuff and having issues, and it's just not cool. Always label your panels if you're starting. Outside outlet. So that one's outside 30 amp outlet. I think this one is the lights. Yes. That's her. This 60 amp. God, why is there a 60 amp for that? Let me get my reader. 200, 240, let's see. Yep, that's that. Okay, so we're gonna label that. Yo, I swear to God, I found it. I always use my marker. 50 amp indoor outlet. And then let's see what this is. Let's see if it's this one. Nope, not that one. What about this one? Yep. This is the panel. Hello? Hello?
All of your big wrenches? Hey, Lex.
I labeled literally all but one, which is fine. They can deal with that. That's what that looks like now. Looks good. Close her up. Close this up. That disconnect is old as hell. All right. Let's go check the voltage outside. All right, my outlet should be pumping. Moving and grooving, hold on. All right, let's open her up. All right, so between each leg, we have 240. I keep moving, so it keeps changing. 240 between each leg, 120 between one leg and a ground, and then we're gonna switch legs. Another 120 between the other leg and the ground. So she's good. She is good to go. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you install a 30 amp outlet for outdoor use. And you can do that with any 2-pole. If you need a 50 amp, 60 amp, anything like that, it's very similar. The difference is wire gauge size. For 30 amps, we're using 10 gauge. So a higher or lower amperage, you're gonna need lower or higher wire gauge, as well as just a different outlet. So, and a different breaker, but everything else is the same. Conduit for the most part is going to be the same unless you're using something huge and you need bigger conduit for a fill, or, but that's it. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys wanna see next.